BRICS, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, represents a significant shift in global power dynamics. As these nations collaborate, they challenge the traditional dominance of Western powers, particularly the G7. With a combined population of over 3 billion and substantial economic growth, BRICS is not just a bloc. It's a formidable force reshaping trade, investment, and geopolitical alliances. BRICS is a grouping of 5 major emerging national economies that have been gaining significant economic and political influence in recent years. Here's a comparison between BRICS and the rest of the world. In terms of economic indicators, BRICS had a GDP of $26.6 trillion in 2020, which accounted for 14.5% of global GDP, with an average GDP growth rate of 4.3% and a per capita GDP of $7,400. In contrast, the rest of the world had a GDP of $194.1 trillion, representing 86.5% of global GDP, with an average growth rate of 2.5% and a per capita GDP of $22,500. When we look at global economic share, BRICS holds 14.5%, while the rest of the world holds 85.5%. In terms of innovation and technology, BRICS is investing heavily, making significant progress in areas like artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and e-commerce. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is still dominated by established economies like the United States, Europe, and Japan, which have a strong foundation in technology and innovation. In global governance, BRICS is seeking to increase its influence in structures like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization, while traditional powers continue to dominate these governance structures, with some influence from emerging economies like China and India. Regarding international trade, BRICS is increasing its presence with significant growth in exports and imports, while traditional trade patterns persist in the rest of the world, with some adjustments for the growth of emerging products. Geopolitically, BRICS is aiming to enhance its influence in international affairs, focusing on regional and global issues like climate change, cybersecurity, and terrorism, while traditional powers continue to exert significant influence, albeit with some adjustments for emerging economies. BRICS faces challenges such as infrastructure development, financial inclusion, and corruption, but also presents opportunities for growth and cooperation. The rest of the world grapples with challenges like climate change, income inequality, and the impact of globalization on employment, while also offering opportunities for innovation and collaboration. BRICS is a rapidly growing group of economies that are increasingly influential in global affairs. While they still face challenges and have some way to go to catch up to traditional powers, they are making significant progress in areas like innovation, technology, and international trade. Recent discussions within BRICS about a common currency aim to reduce reliance on the US dollar, signaling a potential shift in global financial systems. Meanwhile, the rest of the world, primarily led by the West, deals with issues like inflation and political fragmentation. The contrast is stark. While BRICS nations push for multipolarity and economic cooperation, the West often clings to established norms. This rivalry isn't merely economic, it's ideological, as BRICS promotes a vision of sovereignty and development that resonates with many emerging economies. Political analysts and global business leaders must scrutinize how this evolving landscape will redefine international relations and influence global stability in the years to come.